So my camera is crooked. My hair is annoyingly almost long enough to put into a full pony. We can't have that. I could fix both of these things and do something different with my hair and fix my camera, but I'm not going to because I sat here for 5 minutes quietly while recording, waiting for Mr. Soap and Clay to leave the area because he was on a work call on his phone, and I didn't want to be talking while he was, all the things. And so I'm committed to being right here with you right now. And we're going to be doing more coffee soaps. And I'm going to tell you more about today's coffee soap in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where I make all the soapy things, and you are here for another round of what you can do with coffee in your soaps fun. And today we are going to be working on our tried and true coffee, the actual coffee, in place of our water within our lye solution. But we are going to be doing it a little bit different. Do not stress. Do not freak out. I am going to be showing you the green coffee infusion as well as the full brewed coffee that I showed you last week within videos moving forward within the month. But for this one, when we had talked about the best ways to extract the awesome goodness from coffee, I had said that obviously the best way is going to be to ground them down as finely as possible. So I thought, wouldn't it be fun to just put a little bit of coffee beans into this particular lye solution and let the lye actually, the exothermic reaction with the lye and the water, heat up and extract that and see what we get as far as the color of the actual lye solution, how it does with discoloring, what the ultimate performance is going to be, because we're going to test all these things, all of that. So we're doing tests because tests are fun, and sometimes it's nice to have a visual and somebody who's willing to, use their materials and stuff so you don't have to. So that's what we're going to do today. It's a fun lye solution, coffee inside the lye solution, all the jazz. We're going to talk about it. It's a different kind of pour. It'll be fun. We're going to go there and do that now. So we are doing something familiar and also different today. And if you hear my robo vacuum in the background and I can't manage to get this out of the audio somehow, I apologize. It's loud. And, it's cleaning my house so I can be here with you. So, that's a good thing, really. But anyway, back to the soap that we are making today. Something that we have done a whole lot, but also never done it this way. Because we're going to do it weird. We're going to put 1 tablespoon, one sad, measly little tablespoon of coffee, whole coffee beans, whole roasted coffee beans, not ground, into our lye solution. That's it. Why are we doing this? We are doing this to see if there is a difference, first up, in the bubble from using a proper amount of coffee in a lye solution to this, which I do not believe is a proper amount of coffee. We are also doing this to see if it changes the color of the soap in any way, shape, or form. And we are also doing this to, just mess around. Again, it's a test day. It's a recipe, all the things. Now for this recipe for the oils, we are doing it different from the last 2 recipes that I gave you in that we are mixing up the oils completely. Now there are some reasons for that, but first up, let's give you the recipe. So we are doing 33% palm, 33% coconut oil, 34% olive oil, which is actually the coffee oil, 5% superfat, water at 2.4 times the lye, kaolin clay dispersed throughout all of the oils, and then again the 1 tablespoon of the coffee into the lye solution itself. Now, because we know how coffee works and how you get all of the coffee goodness out, one of the easiest and most effective ways is going to be through water, but not just any kind of water, hot water. Well, what happens when you add lye to water? It gets really hot. 180, 190, 200 degrees. You can see it steaming there. you know? And so realistically, I don't have to use coffee, just like brewed coffee, in place of my water. I can just throw coffee beans in there. And I can do, like for sure. But using 1 tablespoon for an entire batch of soap, so 12 bars, is not something that I'm going to consider being really effective. But again, I mean, we will see with the lather tests and everything if there is a difference. Now, when this is all cooled down, I went ahead and put it into a clear plastic container so you could see, you could actually see the coffee beans because sometimes the lighting is just wild. And so I'm going to obviously strain all of that out. Why am I not using my strainer? Because it was clear all the way across, the filming shop studio area, and I was lazy. And so instead I did this. Did it take me twice as long to do it this way as it would have if I had just gone and get the strainer? Yep. That's true. That happened. But don't look at me like that. You know that you are guilty of those sorts of toxic traits too. And that's one of mine. So anyway, I'm going to very slowly put this lye solution into my oils, which have all been melted down and put into, and the kaolin clay has been put into it. So I have dispersed the kaolin clay. I've taken the stir stick to it. I always do that, and I don't think I mean, I very rarely show you that, I feel. And so now that just gets thrown away. Rip coffee beans. So anyway, we are going to be making this soap in a different design as well for the pour. And it will be still a 2-color, but we're going to do essentially half and half with this. So it's going to be one half of the soap is going to be at an angle and it's going to be colored. And the top half is going to be white with some of the remaining soap batter from the colored portion inside to create sort of like a hidden feather type swirl, just very delicate type swirl in the top white portion. Now, back to the recipe. Why am I using the recipe? Good question. Glad you asked. Thank you so much. I've changed this recipe because when I removed the shea from the first recipe that we did to see how the coffee oil itself performs just on its own without the inclusion of the shea or the coffee butter, it was already essentially changing too many constants. And so at some point, it's like, I'm not going to make a 100% coffee oil soap with the lye infusion or the coffee in the lye to, just because reasons. It just kind of stops making sense. So I thought instead for the 2 soaps where I'm putting the coffee into the lye waters themselves, we would change up the recipe and use a tried and true recipe that I know because I use this all of the time. And for the sudsers that are around and have been around for a minute, you know that I use this all the time because this is one of my favorite soaping recipes ever. It is my basic 3. It's quick, it's easy, it's basically equal parts of 3 different oils that ticks all the boxes for me. So you've got all of your fatty acid profiles that you would ever possibly need. It's a nice hard bar, nice long lasting bar, nice moisture, nice immediate big bubble payoff, all of the things that I love in soap with this recipe. And so yeah, it's a workhorse for me. It's one of like 4 or 5 workhorse recipes that I use all of the time. And since I do use it all of the time, I know what to expect from a batch of soap using this recipe. So again, the only thing I'm changing, where it said in the recipe before that it was an olive oil at 34%, that is still an olive oil, but it's my coffee oil, right? Because I used the olive to disperse, to extract my coffee. And so that's what's in this recipe in totality. And so I wanted to play around with that within this recipe to see how much of a difference we really get with the coffee itself. Now we know that using brewed coffee in place of your waters, it's great for a bubble. It's great for the shininess of the bar. It's all of the beautiful skin loving benefits that come along with coffee, which again, as we've talked about this week within all of the, well, thank you, Robo Rock. She'd let me know that she had just finished cleaning and she's returning to the dock. But it's still going to take her 5 minutes to get to it, and she's still going to be loud. So again, sorry, I guess. I don't know. She's cleaning, so I guess I'm not sorry. But anyway, with this particular thing, we have been talking about the coffee and how in leave-on products, it's a good idea to acknowledge and pay attention to the skin benefits of the things that you put into your products. But for rinse-off products, I really don't think that that's a lot, that we're really going to be having much benefit from anything that we're putting. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be hurting our skin, but as far as it being reparative, restorative, A, those are things that we really can't say because you're hitting in drug territory. And two, listen, I am being a responsible YouTuber. You know the drill. It's also weird that I've called myself a YouTuber twice this week because I don't really consider myself to be that. I am a soap maker. This is all fun. I am here for the sudsers, but I don't know. I'm starting to do weird stuff with all of the different, you know, pours and filming and stuff like that. Like, I'm really getting into the edits, and I think that's when you actually become a YouTuber. When you enjoy making the videos for like some sort of artistic thing that you're trying to do. And so that's cool. So there you go. But anyway, for this feather swirl thing, I put the whatchamadilly inside the hanger that also had straws on it to make it thicker. And then I poured the lines directly over it, alternating the green and the white. And then after I did, I don't know, like 5 or 6 of those layers, I covered it in white and then I very carefully pulled the hanger straight out. And that's going to give me some sort of something inside. Probably not like a hidden feather, but it's going to do something. I don't know. This will be C-popped and gelled. Let's go on and check out the cut of this beautiful batch of soap. Okay, and onto the cut. And this will be cut just the normal way, just the standard top down with all of it. And look how shiny it is. It's absolutely beautiful. Very, very shiny, smooth loaf of soap. And like with all of these, as I said, this is C-popped and gelled. And I did not put any of these for this week into the freezer to harden them up, to get them out of the mold quicker. It's just that's how shiny and easy they are to unmold. And that is a beautiful bar of soap. It's absolutely stunning. And you saw how white all of the oils, the soap batter was when we were actually making the soap. And so I really want you to pay attention to this tomorrow because I think you're going to be a little bit shocked when you see just how dark this soap became. And this is very, very interesting to me because this particular soap, I used the black raspberry vanilla. You know, that one that we use in everything when we just can't figure out what it is that we want to actually use for our soaps? We go to black raspberry and vanilla because it smells great. It's very, well, everybody knows it. And it's, you know, just kind of a fun sub in, and it does not discolor. So there was none actual discoloring fragrances in this, and it discolored like a mother. And so I am going to really want your guys' opinions on why this discoloration happened. Again, remember, we have the coffee oil in and the coffee itself in the lye solution. What are your thoughts? So the discoloration on this one is actually really weird. So you definitely need to come back tomorrow, especially considering what I used as far as the scent goes for this one. Not meant to discolor at all. So I was quite surprised at the results of this after a full cure. So definitely come back tomorrow and we're going to test this lather. But for the actual putting just, you know, like a tablespoon of coffee into the water and whatever, for my part, I think inserting coffee in this way into your soaps is really going to be just for label appeal if all you're doing is 1 tablespoon of like whole coffee beans, because I don't really think it's going to do much as far as performance or all the skin loving benefits go. But that said, we are going to find out whether or not this is going to be an awesome lather, and maybe it's the one we love the most with all these tests tomorrow, because we will be testing all of these soaps at the end of the video tomorrow. So definitely subscribe, like, comment, all the things. Come back for that. I'm very excited for it. Sudsers, are you excited for it? We are getting the soap stuff out of the way so we can move on to less commonly known and used ways to incorporate coffee next week with extractions and infusions and all kinds of fun other weird things that we're going to be doing within our actual cosmetics. But let's get soap out of the way first, dip our toes, all of the things. Have you been making coffee soaps? Are you loving them? Are they fun for you? They've been a lot of fun for me, and I hope you guys are enjoying this too. For the rest of you that are also here, you exist, and I don't know why you haven't become a sudzer, because that's just a very weird, I'm out of here for today. I'm going to go before Mr. Soap and Clay walks in again on his call, and I will feel like I'm interrupting him. You know what I mean? Even though he's the one that's moving around. But you get it. I'll see you guys all again tomorrow for another round of soapy fun. Bye. So my camera is crooked. My hair is annoyingly almost too. So my camera is crooked. My hair is annoyingly almost too. So my camera is crooked. My hair is annoyingly almost long enough to put into a full pony. We can't.